Sen, the day ahead, the New York State Senate is expected to vote on a plan that would ban those mini shampoo, conditioner, lotion bottles. You know them well from hotels all across the state. Well, it's one of several environmental actions topping Nassau County State Senator Todd Kaminsky's agenda. So joining us this morning is the senator. Good morning. Good to see you.
Great to be with you.
All right, so it's estimated that more than 27 million mini bottles are disposed of every year in New York City alone. I mean, we're looking at 630 hotel rooms, 630 hotels and 115,000 hotel rooms. This can be a massive ability to reduce our carbon footing here. So how do you do that, and how big of a difference will these little bottles make?
Yeah, if you think about it, every time you go to a hotel and open one of these and pour it in your hand and then leave for the day, they many times just get thrown away, or after the few days you're there, they end up in the waterways, the gutters, and in the bellies of sea life and wildlife every year in a really overwhelming way. Just New York City alone, when hotels are full, are tens of millions of them, and they all add up. We really have a plastics pollution crisis in our country, and our state can do something about it. And the great thing is the hotels we've been working with want to help. This wasn't like pushing them to do something they didn't want to do. It's just pushing them to do it faster. They realize that having larger bottles or dispensers in their rooms are the way of the future, and we're pushing them to get there a little faster. But in about 2024, in your hotel room in New York, you won't see these guys anymore, and that's good news for our environment.
Absolutely. So, looking at other states that have done this, California has done it. They have a major hotel chain, Marriott International, in fact, who's already done away with the mini toiletries. But they did it in phases. They did, the first phase was hotels that had 50 rooms or more. And then after that, smaller hotels. Is that what's going to happen here?
Exactly. 2023 for the smaller and 2024 for the larger. And, we obviously wanted to work with the industry and give them time to do it right and not harm them at all. And they were great. I didn't have a fight with one hotel chain. They were all excited because they know that their customers want them to go as green as possible. When people go away, they don't want to be part of, doing environmentally unfriendly things. And if you think about it, how many hotels around our country, or where I live in Long Beach, for example, are on the water? And when you take one of these to the beach, think about where it ends up. So I think everyone wants to be part of. Yeah, everyone wants to be part of a solution. And this is today, when we vote on this in the Senate, it'll then get sent to the governor's desk. So we're well on our way here.
Yeah, if you see the documentaries about all of the pollution and the litter in the ocean, it really drives this point home. So speaking of the environment, as chair of the State Senate Environmental Conservation Committee, you were key in getting the $3 billion Restore Mother Nature Bond Act included in the state budget. Now, it still needs voter approval in a referendum next year. So help people understand what's at stake here.
Sure, there's so much especially water quality infrastructure that our state needs: old water pipes, water towers, old sewer upgrades that need to be upgraded, and of course coastal resiliency. Think about it, if you're in the city or if you're on Long Island, all the different storm problems you might have with sea level rise. So we have a lot we need to do to make our state more resilient, to invest in water quality infrastructure, and fight climate change by investing in things like parks and planting trees, and also investing in communities that have really borne the brunt of climate change, disadvantaged communities. So the Environmental Bond Act is really important. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to get $3 billion to flow toward those environmental priorities. So a year from November, in November 22, it'll be on the ballot. We want voters to overwhelmingly support it, and I think we'll see a tremendous change over the next decade in light of that giant infusion of funding.
All right, Senator, I need to shift gears while I have you here. You appeared alongside Governor Andrew Cuomo last week at an Earth Day event on Long Island. You've called on the governor, in fact, to resign and hand power to his lieutenant governor. I want to ask you, do you still stand by that? And do you have any personal stories of these alleged bully tactics by the governor?
Well, the event we were at last week was an event in my district for the largest environmental infrastructure project in the county's history that would, right now, we have treated sewage being poured into our bays every day. It's a project I've worked on for 6 years. So I really try to put everything, with the governor's scandals and all the controversies aside, to be in my district to work on a project I've worked on. My position with the governor still stands. And as more information comes out and as reports come out, as I certainly stand ready to, do my best to look at the evidence and continue to push for reforms in New York and to make sure that we have the best, most honest government that people could rely on. And anything that undercuts that, and obviously, makes us feel that in New York we have a place where people can't feel free going to work and feel harassed. That's not acceptable. So I certainly stand ready to act, but that had nothing to do with the environmental project.
But you have had no personal contact with these so-called bully tactics. That hasn't been directed at you, or you haven't seen any of that?
Look, I believe my colleagues when they tell me things. I obviously have had my own conversations with the governor that I right now certainly don't want to speak of. There's a lot going on right now, and survivors need to be heard. I prepared to deal with that information when it comes out. That Attorney General's report is going to be very important. I think everyone agrees it's going to be important, and it should be out soon. And we'll definitely take it from there. But my position concerning the governor, remains the same. And survivors need to be heard. And these allegations are as serious as can be, and that doesn't change. All
right, Senator. And when that report comes out, we would love to have you back on to talk about it.
Definitely.